Morning, everyone. It's late March, gentle snowfall here in town, which was kind of expected. It is March after all. And we're going to take the Northrock XCF out for my first initial ride. I did do a short ride the other day, but this is going to be more of a ride on how I compare this bike to my Northrock XC00, which you all know I have owned and have been riding for about 2.5 years. So I'm going to do just an initial comparison on the feel of the bike and how it performs versus the Northrock XC00. All right, let's get out there. Let's have a good time. Hopefully the snow won't be too much of a distraction. Let's ride, everybody. I didn't think I'd see too much snow. I thought my last few days of snow riding / winter riding were over, and it warmed up quite a bit here the last few days. Now with my bag zipper open. There we go. So I'm running 18 PSI in the front. So for the XCF, I'm going to be just hitting a mostly paved, just to get a sense of the bike. I'll tell you right now, having a 1x10 versus the 1x7, it's nice to have those extra gears. The handling of the bike's pretty good too. Pretty well balanced. It doesn't pull in any directions, but those are also factory. I know when I got my XCF, my XC00, I had to do some adjusting on the bike. So on this bike, after I tightened everything up, the only thing I had to adjust was the tension for the drivetrain, for the cables. Because when I was shifting, it was making a clunking noise. Not a clunking noise, more of a clicking noise. But I think I've almost eliminated that now just by playing around. So the only other thing I've added to the bike, I've added some mud flaps. Just had to wait a bit for them to come in the mail. And as you know, I upgraded the pedals. I have the same pedals on the XC00, and I'm quite happy with these pedals. They work really well. I'll have a link to the mud flaps and the pedals in the description below. Just so you know, when I got the mud flaps, it came only with one of these. I took this one off the XC00, put this one that came in the mail on the front, so I could have a little bit of protection from the splash up front. All right, let's keep riding. Again, the nice thing about the drivetrain, that the 1x10 drivetrain, is just starting off in this bike. When you're pulling away from a stop, a little bit easier than compared to the previous model, the XC00. Effortless. I own a hybrid, a giant hybrid. It's a 31 speed. And this actually, it's the same Shimano Deore drivetrain as my hybrid. So it functions really well. Tires are the same Gigas. Good all-season tires. You've seen them in my previous videos. But so far, the bike's performing really well. As I was coming off the gravel, I was just thinking to myself, it's really fitting that I'm doing this initial, my first impression of the XCF in snow, because that was the main reason I got a fat bike, and is to have a winter activity. And I picked the Northrock brand at the time. Is just the XC00 because it was an inexpensive bike, and in my mind a budget fat bike was the way to go for me, because in case I didn't like it, the winter riding, I could, you know, I could still hang on to the bike or sell it or whatever. But I quickly got hooked, just like a lot of you. That Northrock, that XC00 has been a beast for me for the last 2.5 years. So when the XCF came along and I was reading about it a little bit online, about rumors of it, I kept my eye open. So last month, they were in stock again at our local Costco. So I picked up two, actually. My brother-in-law lives in a small town south of us, and he wanted a fat bike. And he knows, obviously through my videos and talking to me, about how much I love the Northrock. So I picked him up an XCF. He paid me, of course. If I could buy 2 fat bikes, I wouldn't need a budget fat bike. And he's been riding pretty well almost every day. He's really enjoying it. So I wasn't gonna pick one up, but then I just thought, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I'm really glad I did. Like, it's so far I really like the feel of it. A little bit about the cutouts on the rims. We all know they're there to reduce the weight of the bike. The tires. Are they doing it? I don't know. Is it minuscule, maybe? I don't think so, because this bike, for whatever reason, feels lighter. I don't think it is lighter. I think it's roughly still the 35 plus pounds. A fat bike, but it feels lighter to me, like in the handling and in the acceleration. I don't know if that's the 1x11 or just all the little tweaks they've done to this thing, but to me it doesn't feel like an XC00. The XC00 to me, and I love the bike still, feels more like a good solid tank that can go through a good winter ride. This one, I feel confident in the snow, but to me it also feels like I could ride this anytime, and I've talked about that in a previous video. Is a fat bike the only bike you need to own? Oh, they're building 200 and I think 25 plus rental units here in our area. Construction going on. The other nice thing about this bike is the customization that can be done with it. With the old Northrock XC00, you were limited with what you could do with it, especially in terms of replacing the drivetrain. With this bike, like I said, I've shifted off the pedals. You could, and I know some people on some Facebook groups have changed the handlebars, led to lighter carbon material in some cases. Some have also changed the forks. So if you did 2 simple things like the handlebars and the forks on this bike, you could reduce the weight and make it a little more nimble than it already is, and really enjoy your ride even more, like I'm doing. I think I I think on pavement I hit the right balance with the tire pressure. The 18 in the front and the 20 in the back. I'm hitting bumps, but I'm not really bouncing around. I think if you're doing a variety of riding on different trails, obviously you could bring the pump, and that would help. You can reduce your tire pressure to accommodate mountain bike trails, gravel, or if you're in a forest like we have here in our river valley. It doesn't look like it. It's not a super steep hill I'm going on right now, but it's steep enough. On the XC00, I'm usually on first or second, and usually when I get to this point with the XC00, I have to drop to first. And again, the XC00 going up here felt very heavy. The XCF does not feel heavy. I'm in third right now, and it's climbing like a beast. Smaller chainring obviously helps. You know, we're having a great conversation back there after we just climbed the hill. My battery died, so I switched out the battery. It's really not that cold, but it seems whenever snow hits, GoPro batteries do not last long. I was at 49% when I left my house, and it didn't last, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe. So this is a fresh battery. Hopefully I'll get a little bit more time here. What I was saying is that climbing the hill was actually enjoyable with this bike. So I'm not going to go all the way down into the river valley, but I'm going to go down a relatively steep hill and make the climb back up. And I'll give you my feelings on climbing up this hill, and then I'll pull the bike to the side and give you my final thoughts on this Northrock XCF. Okay, this grade is much steeper than that small hill I did leading up to our bridge on the overpass. And again, the GoPros don't really show you how steep it is, but we'll give it a shot in the bike. We'll see how it goes, all right? This is gonna be all live, real time. Again, just starting off in this bike. It's just so easy and effortless. Sorry about the clunk. I'm in third. You come up this hill on the XC00, I gotta be in first. This is no problem. Man, this is nice. That was nice. Like I said, the customization of this bike. You get a smaller chainring on there. Got much more climbing power. All right, back from the hill. Here are my initial thoughts. The frame and geometry are identical. the XC00. The differences in terms of the feel and the ride are the cutouts on the tires, on the rims, and should have been parking a different angle. The drivetrain. That Shimano 1x10 Deor is fantastic. And again, the bike feels like a totally different bike compared to the XC00. It handles really well in this weather. There's a little bit of slush and ice under here, but the tires, I didn't slide once. Tires are the same. The power though from starting, like from a stopping position and going, is amazing. You can just bolt. And I found that coming up this hill and the other one. If you were in a store and they had both bikes, I'd obviously recommend going with the XCF. If you want to do more versatile riding on different terrain, riding some mountain bike trails. If you want a bike just for some winter exercise and to get out, relatively flat, hitting paved trails such as these, you could go with an XC00 and you'll save yourself $100. The price difference is roughly $100 in Canada. But I think you're finding these bikes a little bit cheaper now as spring hits, because the prices were a little bit higher and the availability wasn't there during the winter months. But I would recommend, if you're at the Costco or you see this advertised online, Amazon used to sell the XC00 at one time, but if you see an XCF online or you're at Costco and you're looking for a good versatile bike, a good year-round bike, I would even argue, the XCF is the one to go with. This isn't a scientific evaluation. This isn't an in-depth review. This is just my feel of riding this bike compared to 2.5 years on the XC00. I love this bike. I'm actually gonna ride for another half hour after I'm done this video. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please share it. Please like it. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel. I got some cool ideas coming up for the spring and summer months for some videos. And if you have an XCF, please leave a comment. Tell me what you think about it. If you have an XC00, leave a comment. Tell me what you think about it, because I'm not getting rid of my XC00. I love that bike. I'm starting to like this bike more. Have a great day, everyone. Enjoy your world wherever you are. Get out if you can. And keep on riding, everyone. Have a great day. That was fun.